We are taking behind the scenes, sharing you some of the movie magic that happens right here at Cineplex Theater on McGillivray. I want to reintroduce you to Mike, the general manager at this location. Thanks again for letting us come here.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So right now we're upstairs. We are in the projection room, which is a place that not a lot of people get to go, and a really interesting place because things have changed a lot in the last couple of years in terms of how we watch movies. So when we think about movies and films in the olden days, we think about these reels, and to me that seemed like olden days. Tell me a little bit about this technology and how long it was used for.
Well, it was used for decades and decades and decades, and up until about 2.5 years, we were still using this. Actually, a film. Actually, you have it right in your hand there. It's 35mm film, and film would come in reels such as this one, and it'd be cut and spliced together. This would hold about 20 minutes of film. So an average film of 2 hours would be roughly 6 reels.
Whoa!
And yeah, cut and pieced together, and realistically, be miles and miles long. Actually, each movie. You
had to do all that work right here in the theater?
We did, yeah.
Holy smokes! Okay, so then, with all of the different reels and tape, doing it all together, how did you know when it's time to swap it and put in the next reel?
Well, it was running off of a platter, actually, and then back onto another platter.
Oh, wow, gotcha. So everything was just all moving at the same time? And
correct, yeah.
Okay, that seems like a very labor-intensive sort of system.
Somewhat, yeah.
I noticed on this guy, there's nowhere to attach the reel to, so I'm guessing
it doesn't fit. We can put it underneath now, actually.
So explain a little bit about how these projectors work and how they make your job a little bit easier.
Well, now it's the digital projector, actually. There's 3 main parts now, actually. The projector itself, which is
the big black box on top.
Big black box on the top. We have a digital processor, which is like the computer that runs the projector. And the sound system over here as well, actually.
Oh, gotcha.
So all of our subs, and so the film has sound.
So it's all separate units working together to make the movie magic happen. And then one thing I wanted to ask about was the bulbs that we're using here. Can I grab this guy?
By all means.
Right now, this is inside of like a special, we're calling it like an Iron Man type case. Inside of here is a bulb for one of these projectors, which I'm guessing is pretty heavy duty.
It is.
How much life do we get out of one of these bulbs? How many movies can I see on one of these guys?
Roughly 2,000 hours, so I would say upwards of about 1,000 films.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So these guys must be very, very powerful then, hey?
They are. That one's, I guess, 3,000K, I believe. Yeah.
So that means then that this is going to be contributing to how good the movie looks. But there's another factor that we may not realize, and it has to do with the way that the projector works with the screen. Okay. How are those guys working together to make the movies look as good as possible?
Well, one of the big differences now, actually, a lot of our films are shown in Real D 3D, actually. You can see it on there. And many of our screens, actually, when you go down to the auditorium, you'll see the ones that have a kind of a silver hue to them, like this one does, creates a depth of picture that you'll be able to see on screen, and with the distortion device as well, and the magical glasses. That's how the movie magic happens.
Wow, so the screen literally has silver in it.
Correct.
Wow, so when we're talking about the silver screen, we're actually watching it on silver.
You're watching on the silver screen, yes.
Pretty cool stuff. Mike, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Jeremy, Courtney, getting to go to the places that not a lot of people get to see, especially when you're sitting in the movie theater and looking back and you see that little window and wonder what's going on up there. Pretty cool stuff.
Amazing, amazing, fascinating stuff.
Really interesting, too, to get to see how many of these projectors there are here and the system that they have in place, too, because we've got the 3 VIP auditoriums that are all hanging out in this area, and then a whole bunch more back there, too. So a really cool spot. But now that we understand a little bit of how the movie mechanics work, I think that our next stop is going to be hopping down there, because those seats look pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I think I want to know the mechanics of how do I order food and drinks and have them delivered. That's a mechanic I'd like explained.
I'm the guy to do the investigating and research for you, Jeremy. So what we'll do is we'll test out a couple of menu items, make sure that the seats are nice and comfy, do some quality control, and we'll report back very soon.
All right, buddy. Thanks, pal.